The salt air stung Rachel's nostrils as she stepped out of her car. The scent was both familiar and foreign, a reminder of summers long past and a promise of new beginnings. She had arrived in Sunset Bay, a place she had only seen in pictures, but felt an inexplicable connection to. The little coastal town was to be her fresh start. Divorce had a way of stripping you bare, leaving you feeling lost and vulnerable, like a ship adrift at sea. But the ocean, vast and ever-changing, mirrored the hope blooming in Rachel's heart. Each wave that crashed on the shore seemed to whisper promises of renewal and strength. She had rented a small cottage overlooking the beach. It was modest but charming, with a view that could soothe even the most troubled soul. The rhythmic crashing of waves was a lullaby, a constant reminder that life goes on, no matter the storms one has weathered. Rachel knew she had a lot of healing to do. The scars of her past were deep, but she was ready to face them head on. But for the first time in a long time, she felt a sliver of optimism. The future, once a daunting void, now held a glimmer of promise. She was ready to rebuild her life, brick by salty brick. Each grain of sand was a testament to her resilience and determination. Sunset Bay was a quaint town with its narrow streets and picturesque harbour. It was a place where time seemed to slow down. Its residents were a mix of weathered fishermen and artists drawn to the raw beauty of the coast. They lived simple yet fulfilling lives. The pace of life was slower here, more deliberate. It was a stark contrast to the chaos she had left behind. Rachel found solace in the anonymity the town offered. Here she could blend into the background, free from the judgments and expectations of her old life. She could be anyone here, a blank slate. The possibilities were endless, and that was both exhilarating and daunting. It was both liberating and terrifying. The unknown stretched out before her, a vast expanse of potential and uncertainty. But she was determined to find herself again, to rediscover the woman she had been before heartbreak had dimmed her spirit. The horizon was her only limit, and she was ready to chase it. The aroma of baking bread soon wafted from Rachel's little cottage, filling the air with a sense of warmth and comfort. She had always loved to bake, finding solace in the simple yet profound act of creating something from scratch. Flour, sugar, and butter were her tools of transformation, the basic elements that held the promise of something wonderful. They held the power to turn simple ingredients into something comforting, something that nourished the soul and brought joy to those who tasted her creations. She decided to call her bakery Second Rise, a testament to her own journey of resilience and the second chance she had given herself. The townspeople, curious at first, soon became regulars, drawn by the irresistible aroma and the promise of delicious treats. They were drawn in by the warmth of her smile and the delicious treats she created, finding a sense of community in her cozy bakery. Rachel poured her heart into every loaf of sourdough, every delicate pastry, ensuring each one was a masterpiece. The bakery became her sanctuary, a place where she could lose herself in the rhythm of baking and find peace. The rhythmic kneading of dough, the precise measuring of ingredients, the anticipation of watching her creations rise in the oven, these were her rituals of healing and renewal. Each cake, each cookie was a small victory, a testament to her strength and resilience, and a reminder of how far she had come. As the weeks turned into months, Rachel found herself looking forward to each day with a renewed sense of purpose and joy. The bakery wasn't just a business, it was her passion, her lifeline, and the embodiment of her dreams.
Rachel, your pastries are simply divine. They bring so much happiness to our days. I can't get enough of them. They are truly a delight.
Thank you. That means the world to me. Knowing that my baking brings joy to others is the greatest reward. Baking has always been my way of finding peace, a way to express love and care through the art of creating something beautiful and delicious.
One blustery evening, as Rachel was closing up the bakery, the wind howled outside, rattling the windows and making the warm glow inside feel even more inviting. A familiar figure walked in, the bell above the door chiming softly. Time seemed to stand still as their eyes met, the world outside fading away. It was Mike, her high school sweetheart. The years had etched lines on his face, each one telling a story of its own, but his eyes still held the same warmth that had made her heart flutter all those years ago. Mike had been the one who got away. Their paths diverged after graduation, each chasing dreams that led them in opposite directions. They had kept in touch sporadically, the occasional holiday card or a brief update on their lives. Rachel had learned of his wife's passing a few years ago through one such card. A wave of sadness had washed over her then, a deep, aching sorrow for the loss he had endured. It was a stark reminder of the fragility of life, how quickly things could change. She had often found herself reflecting on those moments, the what-ifs and could-have-beens.
Rachel Mike breathed, his voice tinged with disbelief. Is it really you? His eyes searched hers, looking for the girl he once knew.
Mike, Rachel whispered back, her heart pounding in her chest. She could hardly believe he was standing there.
The years seemed to melt away as they talked, their conversation flowing effortlessly, as if no time had passed at all. Mike had moved back to Sunset Bay, to the house he had inherited from his grandparents. It was a place filled with memories and a sense of belonging. He had spent the last few years taking care of his wife during her illness, a period marked by love, dedication, and heartache. Now he was trying to piece his life back together, finding solace in familiar places and faces. As they talked, Rachel realized that the spark she had thought long extinguished still flickered between them, a small but persistent flame.